Yo, 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 and we are back. Sticks and Stones podcast. This is episode 7, Transactional versus Relationship. And today I have John Duncan on from Tejas Imagery. Welcome, John.
Yes.
How are
Hey,
you, brother?
thank you. I'm well. How are
I
you, bud?
I'm every day's a holiday. That's the way you got to look at it. It's just, even if I'm bullshitting myself, that's the way you got to look at it.
Hey, as long as you believe it, that's what matters.
That's right. That's right. So, John, you're a business owner. You do photography and drone footage and all that sort of stuff. It's all like really
Yeah.
interesting stuff, videography and stuff like that. So, you know, recently I have been not reevaluating myself, right? I'm in commercial real estate. So,
Correct.
and this just happens to be a passion of ours, of both you and I, right? So, we are going to spark a stick. Today I shifted my plan. I was going to pour myself a scotch.
Mm.
I was actually going to pour myself a Balvenie 17-year-old double wood, but then I changed my mind. I haven't had a Red Bull in over a month, right? Because I'm on this carnivore thing, right?
Yes.
And there are some carbs in even the sugar-free Red Bull. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna dump Red Bull for as long as I can. I lasted like a month, and I
Hey,
can't
that's
do it
doing
anymore.
pretty good.
I can't do it anymore. I gotta have a little taste. I feel like a crack addict.
There you go. So we should. I'm not trying to take over your podcast here or anything, but
Yeah,
what stick are you smoking?
I am smoking the Cohiba Rubicon. So this is
Choice.
something new from the Cohiba brand,
Yeah.
which we all know is a
Oh, it's a top shelf.
Cuban brand out of
Hmm.
Havana. This is actually
Yes.
rolled in the Dominican Republic, so us Americans can enjoy it and not
Well,
get arrested.
well,
And what are
I
you
am
smoking?
smoking a Gran Habano Persian King Tiger Maduro 6x60.
I love
So
love that
that
stuff.
a really good friend of mine gave me today.
You can
Somebody who may or may not be on this podcast with me
on this
today.
podcast.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong with that cigar.
Oh,
It's
no,
got
it's the second
enough.
one I've had, and it's amazing.
It's got enough body to be bountiful, right? But
Yes.
it's mild enough that you could smoke it at any time, right? So it's not full body. It's not something that's going to give you a huge punch, but it's also something that has enough body to be worth the while, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's what I love about that stick. And what's really really interesting, there's not a lot of shops that have it. Like go to a lot of cigar shops and ask for that cigar, and they'll be like, we don't sell Gran Habano.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no idea why, because they do produce some good stuff. Now this is, I want to say this is about a 52 ring gauge, which is a little soft for me. I typically like the 60, like what you're smoking, but
And of
beggars
course,
can't be choosers.
as luck
They
would
had
have
what they
it,
had.
my torch ran out of fluid just now.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna fill this puppy up
There you go. There you go.
just real quick. But my libation for today
Yeah, tell me.
is it comes with a story. Okay.
Okay, I love
I
stories. Go
was
ahead.
I met a guy from El Salvador
Okay.
recently on a video shoot, and I went into his house because we were shooting the video in his house, and he had this contraption on the counter, and it looked like just a piece of leather on a wooden stand with a pot under it. Yeah,
Okay.
and so I just, being the inquisitive type, my first question is, "What is that?" and so he
Yeah, I don't care
responded,
about why I'm here. What the hell is that on your
"Yeah."
counter?
He said that is a Dominican coffee pot,
What
and
makes it so
I
different
said,
in the Dominican Republic?
"Yeah, I don't know, but it is apparently that's what they use as a coffee maker in the Dominican Republic, and he built his own. What that has to do with El Salvador, I have no idea. But
Okay.
apparently he was there on vacation or something, and so he introduced me to this Dominican coffee maker. And basically it's cheesecloth. What looks like leather is cheesecloth. You put the coffee in it, and he said, I only use Dominican, what's the term I'm looking for? It's all the rage now where they don't use pesticides and all that kind of stuff. Organic,
Yeah. Yeah.
organic
Organic. Yeah. Yeah.
Dominican
Beans.
coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, you got to try it. And I said, I'm game. And best coffee I've ever had, ever
Really?
in life.
Really?
Yeah. So I
And
literally
you and I
went
drink a lot
down
of
to
coffee.
HEB. Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
literally went down to HEB and I found, because I do the whole Keurig thing,
Yeah.
you know, when I'm in a
Yeah.
hurry,
Yeah.
which is almost every day. And so I found Nicaraguan organic pods, and that's what I'm having.
I love that. I love
It
that. Hey,
is
listen.
good. It is.
Shout out to my Keurig people, because I'm not hating on a Keurig machine. We have one in the office. It gets you by. It gets you by. Now
For
personally,
sure.
I love the Nespresso machine. Like that's my go-to, right? The Nespresso machine. But I've got mocha pots. I've got, automatic drip machines. I have a whole restaurant full of coffee making devices in my kitchen for no reason.
So what you have to do is you have to you have to build you a frame and put this cheesecloth funnel thing in it and a pot underneath it. And then you just pour water over the coffee, pour hot water over the coffee, and
Have you
let it
seen the
drip into
Chemex?
the what?
The Chemex, dude. It's it looks like something that you stole out of the chem lab, out of a high school, right? It looks like a Buettner funnel, but with like two Buettner funnels connected to each other.
Wow.
And they make these filters specifically for it. So it's a Chemex. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a Chemex pot with Chemex filters. So you put the filter in the top part, and then for some reason you have to water it. So you put water on the filter, and then you let
Hmm.
that drain, and you pour it out, and then you put the coffee grounds on in the filter, and then you slowly pour boiling water over the grounds, and it, like something out of a chem lab, just starts dripping, 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 and then it fills up the bottom, and it's a really good cup of coffee. But
Wow.
it takes a lot of patience. Like if you're
Hmm.
if you're on the go, you're on the run, that ain't for you. It definitely ain't for you. Now I have to
Yeah,
say
that sounds interesting.
that is pretty damn good.
Mm.
So it's in shout out to my boy Bobby at C. Cigars, cigar distributors of Texas. Oh no, Bobby didn't recommend this. Shout out to Chris at Pasadena Tobacco and Cigar.
That's
He
where you got this
recommended
one.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, this thing it's got body. Again, it's not the Vitola that I like. I like a 60 ring or bigger, because of just the draw, but this thing has got a phenomenal draw, and it's got punch, but it's not spicy. And me with the notes. Like, I really don't I don't pick up the
Yeah.
notes, like a lot of
Right.
other guys do.
We got
But
to work on that.
yeah, this has got punch without the spice. Dude, I really like this.
Hmm.
You're a business owner, right? You
Yes.
do you
Yes.
do the whole photography and videography and drones and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
And as you know, I'm in commercial real estate. And in our businesses, let's take this from this episode is transactional versus relationship, right?
Right.
And as
Right.
you know, I treat my business and I treat my clients, and I try to build relationships with them. Now you've got people that, you've got, and I personally believe, my personal opinion, you can be either or in any business that you operate, right? If you have a Radio Shack, You could be transactional or you can be relationship building, right? You could have the guy that comes in and he comes in one time or 10 times, whatever, and you're there specifically to sell him items. Hey, I need batteries. Hey, I need a digital audio converter, like whatever. And you're good. You're done. That's it.
Hmm.
You're there to make your profit, and you're off to the races. Then there are people that want to build relationships. They want, when they come in, they want to treat them with respect. They want to learn a little bit more about their use case. They want to get to know them personally as, as a human being. And they want to build that relationship. Like, hey, you're here to buy this thing now, but let me give you some pointers. Let me, build the relationship so that way he's continually coming back. Like, that's the thing. You want them to continually come back. Now, a lot of the downside that, some people see it as a downside is when you're building relationships, right? Just like any type of relationship, business relationship, a personal relationship, romantic relationship, whatever it is, there's a lot
Hmm.
of give and take, right? There's a lot of
Right.
give and take. And sometimes you have to give without taking, sometimes, right? And in the business world, we call that a loss leader. Sometimes you got to do something to show your mettle. You got to show that you're into this. You want to build this relationship with this person or this company, right? So you got to do some stuff and not charge for it. And that builds the trust with the other person. And now this becomes a relationship where now they're coming back to you for all kinds of stuff, right? It may be like for instance, for you, it may start off with a headshot, right? You're just doing a headshot, and you might do something, and then eventually, you're giving them advice, and you're giving them pointers on, how they're going to do stuff, and maybe they're going to do a video later on, and all this sort of thing. And then the next thing you know, they're coming back for all kinds of stuff, drone footage or whatever, right? So there's I talk to a lot of people about this, right? Because I know a lot of business owners. I'm in commercial real estate, so I'm dealing with a lot of, business owners that want to buy real estate, lease real estate, whatever. And there are people out there, I know several of them, that they just want to get in and get out. They want to get in, they want to make their commission, make their sale, and move on. And they want to do that a million times a year. God bless you. Fantastic. That's great. But you
Sounds
don't
hard to
build
me.
relationships that way. Yeah. You don't build relationships that way. You don't have repeat customers. You don't have the people that are going to rely on you, trust you, know you, right? So it becomes a little bit of a quandary of like, do I want to just make the money and move on? Or do I want to build a relationship with these people? So like what is your take on it? Because I'll give you my take on that. What
Well,
is your take on that?
my take on it is this. We are, when I say we, my business partner, Jeff, and we're well trained in marketing. And we went to school. When we opened our business, we decided from the get go we were not going to be transactional. We hate being nickel and dimed. We hate that nonsense. We wanted to be everybody that deals with us becomes a
Mm-hmm.
part of the Tejas family. We
Mm-hmm.
treat
Mm-hmm.
them like we do family that we
Mm-hmm.
like, I should say.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right. There's a
but
difference.
in when we took on this business, we decided that we're going to invest in ourselves, in training and in education, all that kind of stuff. So we took some pretty high level marketing classes. And one of the things that we learned in there in our classes is the lifetime value of a client. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That lifetime value of a client, maybe you start out, like you were saying, with a free headshot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, headshots are easy.
Right, right, right.
We don't really specialize in that, but maybe we start out with a free product of some sort to
Mhm,
start the relationship. But what we're looking at is what is your lifetime value to us?
mhm,
Okay. like you said, that's what we have to look at, not what is this one transaction worth to us? What is the lifetime of this client going to be to us? But I think it actually goes deeper than that, Angelo. And that is the reason I say that is when you first decide that you're going to be in business, okay, you have a decision to make right from the get go. You're either going to be transactional or you're going to be that person that everybody you come in contact with, you're learning from, you know, and that requires you using the two things on the side of your ears rather than this one thing in the middle. Okay. When you meet people, listen more than you talk, you know, let them tell their stories, ask probing questions to them, be really interested. And when I say listen actively, I mean actively listen. So you're not just trying to find out, okay, is this person good for my business? That's not the goal. That is not the goal. And here's an example that I'll give you. I was thinking of this earlier today when I was thinking about this podcast. The reason that you and I met was a fellow by the name of Brad Bricker. Okay. Brad Bricker runs CMIT Solutions.
I love Brad.
Shout out to Brad. Go Brad. Whoop, whoop. Brad and I met, I want to say probably 3 or 4 years ago at a networking event, and we became friends. And I'll tell you this right up front, Angelo, I have no need for an IT person yet. Yet. Okay. And he knows that. But as we grow, that need is going to become pretty evident. So whenever we grow to the point to where we do need an IT person, who am I going to think of? I'm going to think of Brad, you know, and Brad introduced you to us, and that's how this relationship started. And that's how it works. It's not about, is this person useful to me right now? You never know when a person is going to be useful to you, but you can't think of it selfishly like that. You know, everybody you meet and come in contact with has a story. They have value. And that's what we have to do is understand that other people have value and stop putting so much pressure on them. Because I remember the story I like to tell is when I first went into this business, I had no idea how to run a business. I was working at Memorial Hermann in Pearland as I was the head of security over Memorial Hermann in Pearland. And
for
I went into business doing this stuff.
Anybody listening to this podcast that's not in the state border of Texas, Memorial Hermann is a big hospital system.
It is. So I had no idea how to run a business. So I decided, you know, I'm going to start going to these networking events. I went to these networking events and I was hungry like crazy. I just couldn't wait to tell my story. And these people looked at me like, get out of here. I wasn't the least bit interested in them as a person, in their story, you know, and I learned pretty quickly that that's where I was messing up. And that's where a lot of business owners mess up. You know, you can't go into it hungry. Make relationships. Maybe they'll come to fruition someday in your favor. Maybe they won't. Who cares? You're making good relationships. Send them business. If you, once you become assured that they're going to do business the way you would do business, which is the right way, then you should have no problem in sending them business, regardless whether you get anything out of it or not.
That's an interesting point, and that's how I run my business. I don't care if monetarily I make anything out of something. If I'm going to connect people, I'm going to connect them for the greater good, right? And I think that, and by the way, how I met Brad Bricker at CMIT Solutions is we are a part of the same Chamber of Commerce. So we have that commonality. And we were sitting there, you know, talking and whatever. We were at, you know, one of the luncheons or one of the mixers or something. And we started talking. We were having a conversation. And I brought up in the conversation that as any real estate professional, you are not just a real estate professional. You're not just a real estate, like I'm not just a commercial real estate broker. You have to be a psychologist to a degree. You have to be a marketing genius. You have to be a financial genius. You have to be a social media savant, right? So you have to do all of these things, and you're constantly prospecting, and you're constantly working, and it's constant. It never ends. And when I was talking to him, he said, "Oh yeah, who do you got doing that?" And I said, "Well, I've got somebody on my team." And he was like, "Well, do you do professional grade videos and stuff?" And that's when he mentioned Tejas Imagery. So I was like, "Okay, I'll have a meeting with the guys." And I believe it's that commonality, right? You have to have some sort of bond that holds you together, right? That's the basis for any relationship, right? And I think what's interesting is, and as business owners, we've all come across this. I don't care what anyone says, we have all come across this. When you are in it for the right reason and you're trying to help people, and they and this is the one thing, guys, that I gotta mention. You have to know when to cut the cord,
Right.
because
Oh yeah,
there's
absolutely.
got to be a commonality here, and you have to meet eye to eye. Like when in a romantic relationship, if you're dating someone or you marry someone and it's all about that one person, right? You're married, John, I'm married. If it's all about you, the wife's going to be upset. If it's all about her, the husband's going to be upset. There's got to be a compromise, a give and a take. And when there isn't that, guess what happens? It's divorce time, right? And
Yeah.
it's lawyers, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of freaking money. So when you're dealing with a client who's always wanting, 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 like always wanting the freebies, and then not willing to contribute to the relationship, you got to cut the cord, brother. You have to,
Yes.
because
Absolutely.
those people will drain you dry. And and
Absolutely.
you know what? They have no remorse of doing it either. They have no remorse. They will drain you dry to the point where you are emotionally, physically, like spiritually, financially
Done.
dumped. And
Yeah.
they're just like, okay, on to the next one. Let's
Yeah.
find someone else who wants to
Let's
build
see.
relationships. You know what I
Let's see
mean?
who else I can use. Yeah,
Exactly.
you're absolutely
Exactly.
right, and that's a good point, Angelo. You gotta. It's a relationship. That's the part of it being a relationship. If it's two ways, that's great. If it's not two ways,
You got
every time I hear of somebody that needs anything to do with IT solutions, I send them to Brad. Just I know how he does business. I've known him long enough that I know he's going to put their needs first. You know, he's not going to make me look like an idiot for referring people to him, you know, and vice
mhm,
versa. So it is very much a relationship, very much so.
so much.
But
So much.
even
And
that's a relationship between business owners. It's similar with a relationship between you and a client, you know,
mhm.
because clients will run you absolutely sideways too.
Oh
And
yeah.
one of the things we look for is, and we ask ourselves this question after we've known this person, this client for a little while, is this our
Mhm.
ideal client? And how
Mhm.
far are they away from being our ideal client? If they're
Mhm.
using us right and left, and like you said, all they want is free this and free that and free everything else, bye bye. you know, because we've learned the hard way that those clients end up to be more of a pain in the butt than anybody else. But they're never satisfied with the work you do. You can jump through all the hoops that they present to you, and they're never going to be happy. And you cannot, as a business owner, you cannot be afraid to fire that client. It's very freeing,
Mhm.
and I enjoy it when that
Believe me,
time
I know.
comes.
And I've gone through this recently, which I shared that with you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's kind of like, I'm gonna say this, right? And no, not throwing shade on Starbucks, Dunkin', Five
Yeah.
Guys, right? Shake Shack,
Right.
any of these people. But any one of those people walk into a Starbucks and say, "Hey, I'll take a venti caramel macchiato upside down, and can I get that for free, by the way?" What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think
Pretty
is gonna
much the
happen?
reaction I just gave you.
Right, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
not happening. Let me talk to my manager.
And that's the thing. Some of these people are so good at manipulating the system They know where they can get away with it and they know where they can't.
Yes.
You kind of have to have your spidey senses heightened, right? And you have to know and you have to set boundaries of,
Yes.
hey, this is not my business model. This is not what I do, right? I'm not transactional. I'm not the guy that just wants to sell you a building. I'm not the guy that just wants to sell you a headshot. I want to be your main source. I want to be your relationship. And there's a value proposition to that, because when someone deals with you, you have a plethora of, like that word, you have a
That's, yeah,
plethora of connections, right? You've got Brad. Now you've got me. Like, you've got a bunch of people that you can refer out. That's a value add.
absolutely.
That's a
It
huge
is.
value add,
It
right?
is.
So if someone comes to me and they say, hey, look, I'm buying this building, but I know nothing about the commercial space. Like, I don't know anything. Don't worry. I got you. I got title agents. I got lawyers. I got bankers. I've got, the people who can maintain the building from start to finish, from stem to stern. There's value in that, right? And that's what you bring to the table when you actually give a shit. When you care to know what the people's problem is, you can provide a solution. That's the difference between relationship and transactional, because I know some transactional brokers that don't give a rat's ass, that are just like, hey, man, that's your problem. I represent the seller. It's my listing. And if you
Yes.
don't want it, that's fine. I got 30 other people that are ready to buy it.
Hmm.
That's their whole model. We're not after that. We're after we want to buy this building because our dream is to open 10 stores. Our dream is to franchise this and go nationwide or global. That's our dream. And I want to make as many people's dreams a reality.
That's
But I
key.
got
That is
to
key.
do that.
You have to look at that relationship. If it's going to be a relationship, that has to be I'm sorry, I get so passionate about this because we look at things a lot differently than a lot of other people in our
Mm-hmm.
business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you succeed beyond your wildest ever loving dreams.
That's right.
That means you're going to come back to me.
That's right.
That means I've solidified my relationship with you, you know.
That's right.
So when we talk to people, we're very upfront. We're very upfront. And it's not about, okay, we'll hear your vision on the project, but is that going to accomplish your goals?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's
Mm-hmm.
not, let me try to talk you out of that, and into this vision that's actually going to help you accomplish your goals. Because I mean, our motto is if you succeed, we succeed, you know.
That's right.
And I think every business owner on the face of the planet should have that motto.
Me
They want
too.
to see their business, their clients succeed over and above what they do. You know,
100%.
that's refreshing. That's not something you see every day in business.
But if it gets into the realm of the client or potential client is like, yeah, that's all fine and well. I just need you for this, and then I'm never
Yeah,
going to see you again.
there's
You
always
you're
going to be
you're
exceptions,
you're mismatched, right? You're
right?
you're you're doing this, right? You're not
You're
doing
what
this.
the
You're
Bible
doing
calls
this.
unequally yoked.
I wasn't going to go there, but exactly right.
I did.
Exactly right. So you are looking for one thing. You're looking for the relationship. You're looking to help this person out in anything, way, shape, or form. And they're just
Yes.
saying, I don't need you other than this. That's it. That's all I want you for. And that's all fine and well. That's great. And I'm only speaking for myself. Will I deal with someone like that? If it if it's my listing, right? If it's a building that I'm selling, and someone comes up to buy, well, absolutely. I'm hands
Yeah.
off, whatever you want,
Well, yeah.
because my
Right.
fiduciary responsibility is to the seller, right? So I'm going to do that. No problem. If this is a situation where someone's coming up to me for me to do buyer representation, if I'm doing a buyer rep assignment and that's what they want, it's not for me, right? Because I'm going to put shitload of time into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to find someone a building, and a lot more of what's going on in the industry is a lot of brokers, because the market is soft around the country, and even in markets that are not soft like New York and New Jersey, they are having a hard time getting financing. They're having a hard time with leasing because of the economy and because of everyone's unsure of what's going to happen, whatever. That brokers that have the listings, they want to double dip every deal. So even
Sure.
if a buyer came to me or a tenant came to me and I go to the listing agents, I use CoStar, Crexy, all these different things. If I go to these brokers, they're going to get to the point where they even sandbag my offer. I'll put a letter of intent in, the LOI, which is a commercial offer. They'll sandbag that. They'll hold on to it until they get someone that answers their listing online or goes to their sign, calls them up on their sign, whatever. And once that person gets a hold of them, they say, "Hey, Mr. Tenant, Mr. Buyer, I have an offer from another agent right here.
Yeah.
Another broker
Yeah.
sent me this offer. If you can't beat this, then we're just, we're pissing in the wind here." And they use my offer as a stalking horse. So now more than ever, I'm doing a lot of off market stuff, right? So
Sure.
I'll go off market to try to find somebody a building for lease or for sale or whatever. That is a shitload of time. It takes so much time to produce those spaces, those buildings, those properties, that if that person is just for the one and done, no, I'm good.
It's not worth it.
Move
Yeah.
it along. You know what I mean? You can go down the street, you can find any commercial broker that'll take your assignment, whatever. I'm not about that. If I'm going to put my time in, and if I'm going to sacrifice my family time with my children and my family to
Yes.
work on your assignment, I want equal respect and I want equal loyalty. I want you to come back.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
I want you to come back to me,
Abso-freaking-lutely.
right?
Yes.
I want to,
Yes.
first of all, and I think this is also a big thing. I'm not ragging on one particular class of client or seller or whatever. This is
I
equally
am.
across the board. You also have to perform, right? You also have to get in there and roll your sleeves up and get dirty,
Yes.
right? You're going to
Yep.
have to get out there and you're going to have to work your ass off. And if you do that and then someone does not return that effort and that performance with loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
that's when
Yeah.
you got to cut the strings.
You're
So I
done.
think it's a lot on the business owner, the professional, whoever we're talking about. It's not just an entitlement. You're not entitled to the loyalty automatically off the rip. You're not entitled to it. You
Right.
actually have to show. You got to put up before someone's going to show up. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. But when you
And
do
that's
put
where,
up, when you
yeah,
do put up,
yep,
and that's the whole point of what you're saying, the way I'm hearing it and the way I've
hmm,
experienced it. When you do put up, because I've been there, I have been there so many times where we
hmm,
went above and beyond. And brother, when I'm telling you we went above and beyond, we lost money working for these clients, and all of a sudden we look up and they're using our competitors.
hmm,
And we're just like, what happened? Oh, they were cheaper.
yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Get what you pay for.
Parade wave,
Sometimes,
parade wave, you know.
right,
That's what our
right.
business coach calls it. It's just parade wave and let them go. You know, they weren't bringing anything to you or your business to begin with. And at first, the person that I'm thinking of that did this to us first,
hmm,
when that first happened, I was devastated. I was
hmm,
like, oh my gosh, we're done. We are absolutely done, because she gave us so much business, you know. And truth be matter, I talked to our business coach about it, and she was like, parade wave, John, parade wave. That's not your ideal client. And so I sat back and I did a parade wave and I said, bye. And we gained
dude.
we gained 10 more just like her,
Exactly,
you know,
exactly. That's the
that that
problem.
that actually did care,
And
that were our ideal client,
that's what matters, right? That's what
Yes,
matters is the 10 that do
absolutely.
care. It's not the one wheel that you could possibly lose.
Right.
It's the 10
It's
that
the 10
actually
that matter.
care, and they're going to
Right.
come back over and over. So I got a couple stories for you. Okay. And they span a bunch of different industries, right? So talking about Brad, that's the MIT, right? I had a an IT professional, and we are a Mac environment. I have been since 2007, right? And I go and I invest in a whole bunch of Apple tech servers, and I think I even had an Apple server cabinet. It was a fortune, right? Like, and all of this stuff, right? And there was a company here that recommended all this stuff. And then we get to, it's like a week before install. I've got all the equipment sitting on my office floor. And I'm talking about, this was tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, a
Right.
lot of money. And this guy comes out
Apple ain't
there.
cheap.
It's not. It's definitely not. You know, fun fact, I had one of the last X-serves off the production
Mm.
floor right before they cut the X-serve. I had one of the last ones. So,
No.
oh yeah,
My goodness.
I had a I had an X-serve. I had a ton of Mac Mini servers, like just a bunch of stuff, switches, all sorts of gear. So I get all the stuff on the floor, and this is a two-pronged story. The guy that recommended that I buy all of this shit comes out, and he's like, "And why did you buy all this? You could do all of this over the web with all these, like, now it's called SaaS,
Right. Right. Service is a
yeah,
software. Yeah.
service as a software or whatever." And I'm looking at it, I'm like, and now I'm getting red. I'm getting really, really, like, you see in the cartoon where just the tempers, like, and
And it.
yeah. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, we could have saved all this money without, and at the time, probably even now, you can't give shit back to Apple. Like, even if
Yeah.
it's brand new in the box, they're not taking it back.
Nah.
Right. So I'm
Nah.
like, so now what do I do? Okay. So now that becomes a relationship that was the kibosh, right? We're not dealing with
Mm.
that freaking guy ever again.
Right. Right. Right.
So then I panic, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I go to the Apple website and I research their network professionals network, right? I put in the zip code and I call this young guy, and I get him on the phone, and he starts telling me all the things that I can do with this gear. And I'm like, okay, this is the guy, right? Like, this is the guy who wants to build a relationship. Like, okay, great. Call him in. He looks at the stuff. He's like, yeah, we could do this. This is not a problem, blah, 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 blah. I didn't know this, but at the time, he was just one single guy in his boxer shorts answering phone calls on his sofa in his apartment, right? I had no clue. I had no clue whatsoever, right?
Whatever.
And then overnight, I gave this guy so much work, and I referred him out to everybody I possibly could, that he became the number one Apple affiliate in the Houston metro market, which
Wow.
is freaking
That's
huge,
huge.
right?
That's huge.
So
Yeah.
hires a bunch of people, lots of, professionals going out on the road and helping people out with their problems and all this stuff.
Hmm.
I was in a different business at the time. I get this huge meeting with a huge company, and we have to build a website for a specific use case and all this stuff. And this guy does all that. So I'm leveraging my relationship, and I'm like, look, I need to pay you to build this website. We need to do this, and you can do like all these really sexy things and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. We get out to Dallas for this big meeting. Now, mind you, it's the second meeting. The first meeting, I went in there and we killed it. Now, the second meeting is time to put up.
Hmm.
We have to show that we have this web application that actually works. And now I come out there with him. I paid for his airline ticket to get there because he was going to operate this thing in front of everybody in this big. Now we got everybody in this meeting, right? We have purchasing executives, we've got directors, we've got VPs, we've got
Yeah.
AVPs,
Let me
SVPs.
just tell you, as a business owner, I'm sucking seat right now.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, I'm sweating for you, my friend.
There's 30 people in this boardroom, right? And now on my
Mm-hmm.
side of the table, it's me, my partner, this guy, our safety director, our general counsel. We had a general counsel on payroll, right?
Wow.
We got all
Okay.
these people here, right? The damn thing don't work.
Why did I see that coming?
He put hardly no time into this. Why?
No.
Because he became the number one Apple support tech for businesses in the Houston metro market. He didn't need me anymore. So he put all this time into all the other calls that he was getting and all the other big businesses that were giving him work and didn't put any time into the website. And we ate the cheese on that one.
I bet. I bet.
And I was like, you really screwed me here. You really screwed me on this one. And that relationship went kaput right after that.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Sure. Absolutely.
So, that's the quintessential. It was good in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You got what you wanted and then you moved on, but I didn't. I stayed in the relationship. I was giving more, giving more, giving more. And then I lost.
That's, like you said, the quintessential business owner that's in it for themselves, which, I mean, reality speaking, we all want to see ourselves succeed.
Sure.
But
Sure.
the law of the universe says you can't work that way. You cannot work that way. You have to put others ahead of yourself. You have to. And it just works. It just works. I can't explain why. All I can do is explain that it does work that way.
The better in numbers, power, strength in numbers. I believe it's the same thing when you're working with other people. When you're in commerce, right? When you're in business with people, it's
Right.
strength in numbers, right?
Yeah.
So if I just provide you a service and then I'm done, right? I'm only in this for a commission and I'm out. That's a
It's transaction.
one-time transaction, right? You're going to go your way, I'm going to go my way. Are we going to live perfectly normal lives? Yeah, probably. But
We'll never do business
when
together again.
right, exactly. When you look at it from the other side of the coin and you understand that there's strength in numbers, there's so many other possibilities.
Well, and
Because
I think it even goes deeper than that, Angelo. I think it goes back to the old school way of doing things.
yep.
Back when I think of, we were talking earlier today at the coffee shop about being old souls. I hung out with older people. My dad was other than me, my dad was the youngest person in the room. We dealt with my barber who was like 85 years old and my granddad who was like 86 years old. And the conversations they would have is, we would go in there and this guy charged $10 for a haircut, and he would go over and above, what, I mean, you could go down to Great Clips and get the same haircut for $30 and they didn't give you the vibrating neck massage and all that kind of stuff. So you flip the guy a 50 and he's just like, no, let me give you your change.
Right.
And would actually be offended if you didn't take it because his word was, this is a $10 haircut. That's the old school way. And I visited that guy for haircuts until I moved away. He's still alive, actually. And I would still go back there if I was still in the area. That's relationship. That's the relationship we're talking about. You new business owners that are tuning into this. I'm talking to you. That's what you have to describe. That's what you have to ascribe to, is the old school way of doing things. Your word has meaning. Just
Your word is
because
your bond.
I don't care what a contract says, if I say I'm going to do this, by
You better
golly,
do
I'm
it.
going to do it.
You better do it or die trying.
Absolutely.
So
That's relationship.
I can't get into the details because it's not done, and my fiduciary responsibility is confidentiality. That's one of the big ones.
Of course.
But I've got a deal that, Lord willing, will be going into contract next week. And this has been a deal that has been in the works for 2.5 years, right? And the property had a lot of challenges. And honestly, when I met with the sellers, I represent both the buyer and the seller. This is in another state. And when I met with these people, I honestly saw my parents, and I saw all of the people in their lives took advantage of them so harshly that I said, okay. When I met them, I said, I will get this done for you. I will. And I promise you that. And when I make a promise, I hold to it. So when I gave them the news that we're going into contract, they texted me, husband and wife. They texted me and they said, I can't believe after all this time, this is actually happening. And I said, I gave
I
you
love
my
it.
word many, many months ago
I love it.
that this was going to happen. And
That's
they
what
said,
business is all about.
they,
That's
and
what
they said,
business is all
yes,
about.
yes, you
Yes.
did. And honestly, I'm going to be, this is real talk here. By the time money hits my bank account, I don't think that I will be positive on this deal. I have put so much time and I've leveraged so many relationships and I've put so much work into this. And I fought tooth and nail with everyone, with cities, with other buyers, with, just so many things that I won't be positive. But I gave my freaking word and
And
I held up to that.
here's the thing, Angelo, God saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And the universe does not leave stuff like that unanswered.
No, it doesn't.
God's
No, it really
universe
doesn't.
does not leave that unanswered,
No, it doesn't.
and who knows what you're going to see from that. And that's the thing. It's not always about what's tangible and right there in front of you.
But I know he saw it.
That could have,
I know he saw it.
exactly, that could ripple through years.
That's
The
worth its weight in
lifetime,
gold to me.
absolutely, the lifetime value of a client. Who are, when they talk to somebody, let's say they're eating at Longhorn Steakhouse or something like
Yeah.
that, you know, and they meet somebody that says, hey, you know anybody that's in commercial real estate? Oh, well, yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy you have to call. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. Boom, there you go. That's the way business is conducted.
It's something that, and listen, I have never, and I never will. I will never give credit to myself. I will never seek the credit. I will never seek the glory. You know who I give the credit to. And I've mentioned this several times. The Lord above is responsible for all of this. I was just a tool. I was just a tool that he used. That's it. That's all I am. But
And that's what being a business owner is all about.
yep,
Being
I will
that
never take
tool.
the credit for it. I'll never take the credit for it. But those people will never forget me.
Exactly.
They'll never forget me because I kept to my word. I
And
promised them I
even
would get them
if
out.
those people never do business with you again,
Mm-hmm.
you developed a reputation.
And I don't
And that
anticipate them
reputation,
ever coming back to me. I mean, they're
but
elderly people. I don't
reputation,
anticipate it.
that reputation is already out in the airwaves. That reputation is already out in the universe. God's already seen it. It's already done. That's a done deal.
So
That
this is
matters. And that's
this
what
is
a lot of
why
today's generation does not
they
get.
don't
They
get it.
don't
Nope.
understand that.
Nope. They don't
No.
understand it. And that's why I got the nickname the Bulldog. Because when I latch onto something, I don't let it go. Until someone tells me let it go, then I let it go. But other than that, I don't let go. And I promise these people I'll get this done. And I didn't let go until I did. And I'm still
That's
not going to
beautiful,
let
brother.
go until it's done. Until I'm at the closing table, I'm not letting go. And
That's beautiful.
that's just the old school in me. That's the way I was taught. Today's generation, it's like as soon as things don't pan out and don't give you the warm and fuzzies, it's like boom, 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 gone.
I quit.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm gonna TikTok my way out of this. So it's that's the mentality that you have to ingrain in someone. That's not something that you can train. That is a lifetime of watching and repeating, like seeing somebody do it over and over again. And when you see the results of that, when you see someone appreciate that, when you see someone like, okay, that's the way it's done, maybe that's what I should be doing. That's how you do that. You can't, because in today's world, it's all about instant gratification. They want to be pleased in 2 seconds. And if they don't get what they want, they're out.
You're done.
And
Yeah.
you can't run a business like that. You can't run anything like that.
Right.
It's
And I've seen a resurgence of that though. And there's hope to be had. By the way, you've got the most beautiful sunset going on behind you right
I
now.
know.
Oh
Crazy,
my
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with my green screen hiding my washer and dryer.
I'll tell you something.
That is beautiful.
There's
I'm just sitting here
there's a
going,
bayou.
wow.
There's a bayou right behind that fence. And come summertime, this place is hell with the mosquitoes.
Oh, I bet.
Summertime. And I even have Brooks Pest Control. Shout out to Brooks.
Yeah.
They come with
Brooks.
the bait bucket where
Yeah.
they put that stuff in there, and then it causes the mosquitoes to they can't procreate anymore or something like that.
Yeah. Neutralizes them.
It is necessary over here because of that bayou. It is like
Oh,
they
I bet.
cannot miss a month. If I'm looking at the calendar and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I gotta call these people because they gotta get back out here.
Let me tell you something. I went to a shoot the other day down on Lake Jackson, and oh my gosh, I rolled into this place, and I beat the realtor there,
Mhm.
and I rolled my windows down and was engulfed with mosquitoes. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. it
You know,
was it
I
was like
think
I thought they were going to carry me away.
this is my own opinion. Okay, I am not. I don't care if I get canceled. I don't give a shit. But I believe that mosquitoes are the devil's henchmen, and cats are the guardians of hell. That's my own opinion.
I hope you can't hear the train going by.
No, I didn't hear anything.
There it is.
I heard that. I heard that.
We're outside. It is what it is.
By
But
the way,
what do you
this
got there?
this is Shevkov Black. I was turned on to this by a very, very dear friend of mine. His name is Sammy Salick, and he is one of the bigwigs at
Way to go,
Totus
Sammy.
Financial. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was drinking at his house, and I've always been a Grey Goose guy. Always for vodka, that was my go to. When Sammy turned me on to this stuff, I haven't bought a bottle of Grey Goose in got to be over a year and a half, maybe longer. This stuff is phenomenal. It's, in my opinion, a bigger bottle. It's better quality and it's cheaper.
Wow.
How do you beat that?
You don't. You don't. That's one of those things you find and you keep. But that brings to mind, we were talking about tasting notes and
Yeah,
pairings. You know,
yeah,
this cigar, I had one. The first one I ever had was 2 weeks ago. You brought me one when we
yep,
met at
yep.
Java Owl, and I had it with a Coke. I was drinking a Coke at the time,
Were you?
and
I thought you were
the
drinking coffee.
tasting.
No, you
No,
were
no,
drinking
no.
Coke. That's right.
I was drinking a Coke
That's right.
because it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm old, so if I have caffeine that late, here I am drinking caffeine at like almost 7 o'clock at night.
7 o'clock at night.
But I'll be awake all night. But the tasting notes of this cigar have changed based upon what I'm drinking.
Really?
Yes. tremendously. I'm at about the middle of the body right
Okay.
now on this
Yep.
stick. And I recall the tasting notes that I was tasting when I was drinking a soda, a Coke, were very much, they were like hay and leather. It's got more of that Cuban feel
Okay.
as I'm drinking it with coffee, with
Mm-hmm.
Nicaraguan coffee. It's maybe it's in my head, but it's
Could be.
amazing, and it's worth bringing attention to, that the tasting notes of whatever stick you're having are going to change with whatever libation you're having it with.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, totally. And if you can't, I've seen people like on the cigar forums, they'll talk about, oh, this cigar tastes like toilet paper or whatever. And it's something that I've had before and I know it doesn't. And I'm just like, what did you have it with? I just finished a steak. Well, there you go.
I was just gonna say that. It also depends on what you've eaten
Hmm.
before
Yes.
or during, because I know some people that do eat and smoke at the same time. There is a restaurant in New Jersey that you can, it's grandfathered in from places 50, 60 years old. You can still order to eat and smoke at the same time. So depends on what you've eaten, depends on what you're drinking at the
Yes.
time. And
Changes the whole tasting
it
profile of
does.
the cigar.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I was going to have scotch, but like I said, it's been so long since I've had a damn Red Bull that, scotch
You
and Red
had
Bull, you
to.
probably shit your pants. So, like, figured vodka, oh, a vodka Red Bull.
You wake up smelling thyme.
Yeah, exactly. But this, and this is something that we got to work on, because I don't believe that I can do it. I can tell if it's good tobacco or not. I
Sure.
can't pull any of the notes out of it.
I mean,
I really can't.
you can tell one of the best indicators of a quality cigar is, as you smoke it, how sharp is that line? I haven't had to touch this one up at all.
I talk about it all the time. I talk about the burn, how
Yes.
evenly the burn is. I talk
Yes.
about the ash quality, right? If it's spotty, if it's all one color gray, it's great. If it's like spotty, it's like dark and on little bits of it, and it's real light in parts of it, that's not good.
Right.
And
Right.
the draw, if you're an even draw throughout the whole thing, it's good quality. It's
Yes.
good quality. If
Even,
you
and
don't get
that's
any
more
of that,
important even than the cut, than the
mm-hmm,
burn cut, you know,
mm-hmm,
is the draw, because I've had some cigars. Oh my gosh. And I paid like $25 for these cigars per
yep,
stick.
yep.
And you get halfway through it and you can't draw it anymore.
Do you ever smoke a
You know,
cigar where it's reminiscent of a McDonald's milkshake?
well, my wife and I went on a cruise a while back, and we went on a 5-day cruise. And my gosh, as soon as we hit the piers, where was this? This was in Cozumel. Cozumel.
Yeah,
And these guys come up with these boxes of cohibas, you know.
yeah. They're bullshit.
And I know how to tell a fake cohiba just
Sure,
by the
sure.
wrapper, and so I'm looking at it, I take one out of the box, I'm like, this is fake. And they go, "Oh, no, it's genuine." No, it's fake.
Fuck out of here,
But
man.
he wanted $10 for the box. So I'm like, here's $10, go away.
How bad can it
You
be?
know,
Yeah,
that thing tasted like toilet paper.
like ass, and not in a good way.
That was the most toilet paper smoke I've ever had. But that cigar you gave me earlier today,
The
that thing,
surplus by
it
CAO.
yes, that thing
That thing is
required a
fucking
little bit of a
legit.
touch up.
Yeah,
But I would bet you, had you had that thing in a humidor?
of course.
How long?
Weeks probably. So I have one of those refrigerator humidors,
Yeah, yeah.
and I buy a bundle. Those along with the Tiger King, I buy a box of, or a bundle. The surplus comes in a bundle of 25. So I bought a bundle. I just opened it up and I threw it in one of the drawers in the humidor.
But I mean, that stick was $2.
You can't fucking beat it, dude.
I
You
mean,
can't beat that.
the foot to the end of the body was amazing. At the end, it got a little bit intense, and there was a little bit of a burn deficiency, but it never got hard to draw. Never. I mean, and I smoked it to the nub. You remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Short of putting a pick in it, and you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I
Which you
smoked
should
that
have told me.
sucker to the
I
nub.
have a roach clip.
I mean, I just didn't bring one. But as a matter of fact, where'd my lighter go? I was going to show you. Oh, here it is. I got my cigar sitting on it. This is the really cool lighter my wife bought me. And it came with, at the bottom, it used to come with a stick that you
A
could
draw
take out of
poker?
the lighter. Yeah.
No
And you could,
shit.
so you could smoke it down. I lost it.
Man, dude, that is
I
so
lost it,
cool.
but my gosh.
I can't
And
tell you
that
how
was,
many cigars. It doesn't happen often. It's usually the brands that have quality issues
yeah,
that
yeah.
you will. I'll give you the case in point. I love these guys. Dealing with them, honestly, it's like, and you know, I'm not an infusion guy, right? I don't like the
No, no.
flavored cigars. It's not my thing. But there's a company out in Chicago called Ralph's Cigars, and they do their own thing. It's their own infusion. They don't buy them from anyone and resell them. The consistency is so off. And I find that if I order 5 to 10 sticks, it's okay. Any order larger than 10 sticks, you're all over the
It's
fucking
everywhere,
place. You're
all
all
over the
over it.
map.
Like one cigar, you will smoke that thing. It's a cognac coconut coffee infusion.
Hmm.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when you whip that thing out to light it, everybody looks around, they stop and like, what is that smell? It's like intoxicating, right? You're like, you have to know what it is. And one stick will be the best smoke of your life. And then you'll fire up another one and it's like a fucking
Trash.
McDonald's milkshake. And you're like, I'm either gonna finish this cigar, or I'm gonna have a stroke. Like one or the other. One or the other is gonna
One of
happen.
the two.
Yeah.
A realtor friend of mine actually was in the Dominican Republic, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
bring me back a cigar. Because, I mean, I love Dominican cigars. The spice, I'm a spice guy. I love Dominican spice, sun grown all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So she brought me back not just one cigar. She brought me back like 15 full size Toro cigars, and they were
Okay.
all infused. All infused. Some of them were cocoa, some of them were cognac, and then she
Yeah.
brought me back these cigarillos. There was like 25 of them.
I'm not mad at a cigarillo.
I'm not either. It's a good quick smoke. And so,
Exactly.
but it was that exact thing that you're talking about. And they were hand rolled in Dominican, not available in the US. So I put them in my humidor together, and I stuck them in there for about a year.
Huh?
And so those suckers changed profiles like crazy.
I'm gonna tell
So
you.
you
I'm
had
gonna tell
this,
you a
so
story.
you had this cocoa cognac infused nonsense, and some of it kind of did taste like a McDonald's shake, but some of them were really, really good smokes. I
You
mean,
know,
you light
it's
them up, and you're just like, oh, the
there's
scent,
so
which
much.
that's what a lot of cigar aficionados don't really understand, is so much of your taste comes from scent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's why the retrohale is so
Yeah.
important. The
Yeah.
way a cigar artist intends for a cigar to be enjoyed is through a retrohale. A lot of people don't understand that. That's the way it's intended to be enjoyed, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't really taste a cigar correctly until you blow the smoke out of your nose.
Right.
Because a
Right.
lot of your flavor, like if you put a good quality steak on the grill, you can taste that sucker before you take it off just because you're smelling it, you know. And that's so critical to tasting a quality cigar.
So one of Brad and I's mutual friends, we are working on a trip to the Dominican.
Mm.
if you want to get in on that. And we're talking about cigar tour,
Send me the
Dominican
deets.
Republic. Yeah.
Send me the
Yeah.
deets. I'm there.
We're gonna do that. It's so interesting on the cigar world, right? If you're in this, you're in it because you love it, right? I love it. I've smoked in lounges all over the world. I truly love cigar smoking. I love cigars. I love, and my tastes have changed over time. As your palate changes as you get older, when I was younger, I couldn't drink red wine. I hated it. And now that's my go-to, right? So your palate changes over time with cigars. Like for instance, Gurkhas. I hated Gurkhas. They were just way too damn strong for me. And then as I got
Love
into it,
Gurkhas.
I like them now. I like them a
I
lot.
love
And
Gurkhas. Yes.
I
Yes.
smoke. This is my third one for today, right?
Hmm.
And as far as I know, that's your second one for today.
My second. Yes.
So I
Now,
smoke
I'll
anywhere from.
probably go a full week before I have another one.
So this is where it becomes an addiction. I smoke like 2 to 5 a day. The commercial real estate business is very stressful, right? It's very, very stressful. The attrition rate on deals, I told you this earlier, is like 80%. So if you have 10 deals in the fire a month, 8 of them bitches are going to die. And I know that. And every commercial broker knows that. They're going to die. So it's very high stress. I'm using that as an excuse. I'm going to use that as an excuse of why I smoke so many damn cigars.
Go for it.
So
Go for it.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna ask you this question, and I know my answer. So are you the guy that has a different cigar for a different mood?
No,
You're
absolutely
not.
not. No. Each
So do you have
cigar
a
that I
favorite?
have, I do, but you're not going to like it.
No, look, man. This is what this is all about. This is what this podcast is all about. So tell me,
The War Pig.
really,
The War Pig
interesting.
is that's my jam. That is my jam. It's followed closely by the Rocky Patel decade. I love. I've paired it with multiple different things, whether it be a beer, scotch, bourbon, water,
Mm-hmm.
coffee, whatever. I love the tasting notes of a Rocky Patel decade. There's always that graham cracker. And another followed thirdly by just about anything from my father.
I love my father.
My
Do you have a
gosh.
favorite? Have you tried the blue Honduras?
No, I haven't. The Series 10 is my favorite.
Okay.
The Series
Have you tried?
10,
Have you tried the
it's
Judge?
just, I have not. Oh my gosh. I need to. That gives me an
Dude, I got
excuse.
one. I
I'm,
have
I'm
one
the
in
kind
my
of guy,
humidor. I'll give it to you.
listen, I'm the kind of guy that I find something I like and I just kind of go to it
Oh,
because I'm like,
you're
I
that
know I
guy.
like that. I'm
You're
that guy.
that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I take my wife to a place and I'm like, I know what I like on this menu, so that's what I'm getting. She's more adventurous, and I
okay,
need to be more adventurous.
I
I
I
mean,
have
I
a.
would have never discovered this. I have to look. The Persian King
Mm-hmm,
by Gran Habano. I mean, I've heard of Gran Habano all over the place, but I've never tried the Persian King. And that's a go to for me now.
mm-hmm,
But if I'm at a humidor somewhere and I see that stick before now,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to pass it
You'd walk
up.
past it. You'd
I'd
walk right
walk
past it.
right past it
So
to my own disservice.
I have a buddy, and this is the key for you, John. Don't pass shit up, right? If you see something,
Right.
give it a shot. And my own personal opinion is, whenever I'm trying something new, I always pick up 2 sticks, because anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, Arturo Fuente can have a fuck up. They could have a bad
Yeah,
day, right?
that's true.
So like,
That's true.
okay, if you have
Try it
one
again.
dud, you have 2 duds. Now stay away from that cigar.
You're done.
You got 2 duds, stay
Yeah.
away from it. But I always try 2. But you got to be a little bit adventurous. I have a buddy, Sal Candelera. I love Sal. He is a true friend of mine, old school. You know the old Kangol cap.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, like the newsy cap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always wears one. Never see the guy without wearing a Newsies cap, right? Always smokes the Jaime Garcia double Corona.
Okay. Okay.
Will
I'm
not
not mad
smoke
at that.
anything else. I'm
I
not
am
mad at it either, but
not mad at that.
you could hand this fucking guy a $500 pre-embargo Havana Cuban cigar, and he'll be like, "Nope, I'm good. I only smoke
No,
the Jaime Garcia double Corona. Like that's it. That's it."
I mean
He
that's kind of me when it comes to beer.
Okay. What's your beer?
Oh my gosh, I'm an IPA guy.
Mm,
I love a good IPA. You know,
okay.
I'm a beer snob. If it's
Okay.
not craft, I'm absolutely not interested unless
Well,
it's free.
fuck me.
If it's free,
Yeah, that's different.
I'll drink anything,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right, right.
but like a good Voodoo Ranger,
Okay.
a lot of people look at that and they go, "Ooh, it's too much, too much." But I also like a good stout,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Like a Guinness?
a no, Guinness is trash, dude. Serious,
Come
Guinness
on,
is
man.
trash.
Come
No,
on, man.
Guinness is trash.
What
No,
about Heineken? So like this
no.
right here, I had the gastric sleeve surgery.
Mm-mm,
It's the only thing I miss. Right?
mm,
It's the only thing I miss from having this surgery. It was the best thing I've ever done, but I can't drink beer because this right
mm-hmm,
here, the Red Bull has carbonation in it, and the carbonation
right.
it fucks with your stomach.
It'll tear you up. Yeah.
It's doable. The beer, because of the hops and the wheat and the barley and all this shit in a beer, can't do it. I physically can't do it. And it's the only thing I miss. And my go-to beer was Heineken. That was my go-to. Like if they
No,
didn't have Heineken, I only had one fallback, and it was Dos Equis.
no. You need to get more experience in beer. That's
I've
all
had a
I'm
lot of
saying.
experience in beer. I've had a lot of
No,
experience
no,
in
no,
beer.
no, no. So, my favorite beer of all time is called Dragon's Milk,
Okay,
and I forgot who makes
that
it,
sounds nasty.
but it's as black as night. It's a stout
Shit.
that, yeah, it's completely stout. 12.9, I think,
Okay.
ABV.
Okay. Holy shit.
Tastes, yeah, tastes like you're drinking heaven.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
so good, so good. But I used to be that guy. I used to be the guy that you are with beer.
Yeah.
You know, when I came, I used to be a Heineken guy. I'm sophisticated. I'm drinking a
Yeah.
Heineken.
Yeah.
No,
So I used to do
this
something
craft
when
stuff.
I would go to Twin Peaks. If anybody doesn't know, Twin Peaks is like a Hooters on steroids. The girls dress up in like lumberjack little, uniforms, and the beer is like 29%, 29 degrees
Right,
Fahrenheit. So when they bring it to
right.
you, it's like got little crystals on top of the
Yes.
head. And I'd walk in there and I'd be like, I take a Harry Balls, and they're like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, Heineken with a shot of Fireball. Just drop it right in there.
My
Like a car
gosh.
bomb. Like I'm telling you, this was a while ago, right? This was a while.
Yeah.
I was a young guy, and that's what I drank. But when I went to the Netherlands, when I went to Amsterdam, that was the only thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to go to the Heineken factory, and my fucking luck, it
They
was
were closed.
closed for maintenance. Like, and they hadn't done it for like 30 years prior to that. I'm like, my luck. I come to Amsterdam, and that's the one thing I want to do, and it's fucking closed. But I don't have a favorite cigar. How about that? I don't have a favorite one.
I'm not mad at that either.
People ask me all the time. They're like, "What's your favorite cigar?" I don't have one.
The
It
one I'm
it
smoking.
right. It's like it's all what my mood is, right? So like if there's a lot of factors that play into it. Did I just have a big steak before that?
Mm,
You
mm,
know, am I happy? Am I mad? Am I somewhere in between? Like it's kind of like I'm very eclectic when it comes to music, right? So it's like, what am I feeling at that time? Do I want to listen? Am I listening to hip hop? Am I listening to country? Whatever I'm feeling at that moment, that's what I'm listening to. And it's the same thing with cigars. It's how I'm feeling. If I'm angry, I want something spicy with a lot of punch.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If I'm happy, I want something a little more mellow that I want to enjoy. If I'm mad, I'm angry at the world and I want to fucking feel it. You know what I mean? Like that's
Hmm.
where my ideology is with cigars. But I'm gonna ask you a question. You said the
Okay.
Rocky Patel Decade, right? I've smoked it. It's a good cigar.
Yes.
However, do you know that the Placencia family
Yeah, they
does
make them all.
all of Rocky Patel's
Yeah,
shit, all
I
of it,
do.
from seed,
I do.
from seed
Yes.
to boxing? So why wouldn't you just smoke a Placencia, like a Alma
Because
Fuertes or
it tastes
one of the?
different. It tastes different. It totally
You think
tastes
so?
different. I totally think so. And that's the difference is I can smoke a Rocky Patel Decade and have it with coffee if I'm
Uh-huh.
in a calm mood,
Okay.
or have it with a bourbon if I'm in a mad mood.
Okay.
And it'll totally change the flavor profile.
I agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you that the cigars, the profile changes depending on your
Oh,
mood,
yeah.
depending on what you're drinking, what you're eating. 100%.
But ultimately, my thing is, which I've been in high stress jobs. I mean, I used to be law enforcement. I
Yeah.
used to be security at
I mean,
Memorial Hermann. I mean,
working at the
everything law
hospital
enforcement
system.
sees, Memorial Hermann
Yeah.
sees, fighting LSD patients and everything else.
That's got
So
to be
I know
messed up.
stress,
Yeah.
but my thing is, if I can come home and enjoy time with my wife and we sit out by our fire pit
Uh-huh.
and I get to enjoy a premium cigar,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care who makes it.
Good
I
point.
get to enjoy a premium cigar with
Good point.
whatever libation.
Yep.
It's about relaxation.
Yeah.
Sorry, my headphones are trying to fall off.
It's all right.
But to me, that's what it's all about, you know. And I don't know if you remember, I don't remember his name, but a couple of years ago, he reached some fame for being the oldest World War II veteran.
Okay.
Black guy.
Yeah, I think I know. Yeah.
I want to say he was a Marine and he lived to be like 105, 106, something like that. And somebody
Jesus.
asked him, "What is your secret to long life?" And he said, "Every day I have cigars and bourbon because stress will kill you."
Stress will kill you. 100%. I mean, what
That's
are statistically, if you look at it, right, and you read all the medical documents, what are the two main causes of cancer? Bad diet and stress.
absolutely.
So I agree with that 100%. So you don't subscribe because there's guys out there and gals out there that only smoke Padron or only smoke
Yeah.
Arturo Fuente.
No,
You don't subscribe to that bullshit. I don't either.
no,
I don't either. Have you tried anything in the warped lineup?
no. Well, I want to say yes.
Okay.
I had something from the smoke ring a while
Yeah.
back. This has been probably 2 years ago. And this was a Gigante.
Okay.
So I'm talking
So
a
it's pornographic.
80 by 100. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Pornographic.
pornographic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
stick was like
Yeah.
that long and about
Yeah.
that wide. And it was
Yep.
a
Yep.
barber pole. And I want to say it was made by that company.
Do you smoke that in like a closet by yourself?
I smoked it by a fire pit and I remember I got about a quarter of the way through it and I was like, I'm done. But
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
wonderful smoke. What a wonderful smoke. Even a massive cigar like that. And I mean, you could razor edge lines. I mean, I didn't ash that sucker until that ash was like that long,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. That's
It
also how
was
you know a good quality
incredible.
cigar. When the ash
Yes.
stays put, you know that's a great
Yes.
quality cigar. Now,
Absolutely.
I I'm adventurous, right? I'm adventurous on a lot of things. But I'll go into a cigar shop and I'm not the one like everyone that knows me knows I'm into cigars. So they'll ask me a whole bunch of questions. I'll go into a cigar shop and I'll act like a complete dumbass. Like I'll go to the tobacconist and I'll just like pick his brain or her brain and I'll walk through the humidor with them and I'll just start picking stuff, right? So Warped, they make the Cloud Hopper, the Comida, a couple of other, dude, so good. So good. It's just the problem is like I think the biggest ring gauge they have is like 48, like 48
No,
or
that
50.
wasn't this
It's
one
too
then.
small. It's too small, right? And but it's high quality shit. And I just got turned on to a new brand called Crowned Heads.
I've
Again,
heard of that.
don't
Yes.
they don't
Yes.
make anything big, but the two that I've smoked so far was the La Crema, phenomenal, and then Blood Medicine, which you'll love this, right? Blood Medicine came from the story is the building that they operate out of is an old hospital in Nashville, Tennessee, that became a pharmacy. And you know that the whole blood medicine thing was, way back in, turn of the century,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And it was like, it's an homage to that because it was an old pharmacy and all that kind of thing. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And then there's the Racy's Habana, which I just smoked like two of their cigars a couple of weeks ago. Phenomenal, dude. And it's just like you said, if I walked past this in a humidor, I'd walk right past it. And if it's not like an AJ Fernandez, the only thing that I won't smoke of AJ Fernandez, because for some reason that dude, he's a
He gets it.
spellbinder. He's a spellbinder. Whatever the fuck he's doing, it works, right? So he's always doing something like the Romeo y Julieta that he did the
Oh,
collab
that's a
with.
good stick. That
Phenomenal.
is a fabulous
Phenomenal.
stick. Yes. Yes.
The Viva La Vida, oh my God. That is the
Had that
one
one.
thing.
Yes.
That's the one note that I can pull the molasses out of that bitch, right? So like that's phenomenal. The only thing, like even the H Upmans that he's done, the collab with them, phenomenal. The only thing I don't smoke of AJ Fernandez is the New World. To
Really.
me, those are shit. I don't know why. It it's just not my cup of tea, right? It's not my cup of tea. But he does so many phenomenal things. Do you know the bet that he had with the owner of Caldwell?
No, I don't.
So Caldwell makes the Long Live the King and the King is Dead. And
Hmm.
now I think they have a new one called the Long Live the Queen or the Queen is Dead, something like that. And AJ Fernandez makes a bet with Caldwell and he says, bet you that I can make a better stick out of Long Live the King than you did. And of
Ooh,
course, you know, egos flare and it becomes a pissing contest. And he's like,
sure.
okay, challenge accepted.
Uh-huh.
He fucking did it, man. He did it.
Jeez.
He shit on the guy's own cigar.
Oh,
It's like you have to have a talent to do that. You know what I mean? You got
yeah.
to be gifted to
Yeah.
do that type shit.
My
But
goodness.
you got to give him props. The only thing that he's come out with that I'm dying to try. I've tried his El Pupo, and the band is cool as shit. It's like a big octopus on it. I'm not a fan of the box press. I'm really not. It's just it's got a weird mouthfeel.
Huh.
I've been
See, to
smoking
me, the
cigars for
box press
probably
just feels right.
really. To
Yeah.
me, it's just like I've been smoking 20 plus years, and it's always been around rolled cigar, right? So anything other than that just feels weird to me.
So how do you
The
feel
cig-
about a torpedo?
I'm okay with the torpedo. That
Okay.
oddly enough, I'm okay with that. It's just the feel of the square cigar in my mouth. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really, really weird.
I
The El Pulpo is a phenomenal stick. I just don't like it because it's a box press.
It's
And I
box
know
press.
they make a traditional stick, they make a traditional cigar. I just can't find it. Like no one's got it. But it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I actually want to do a national tour of all of the best spots, like and vlog it or whatever. But Tampa's got a bunch of spots. I actually was not smoking when I lived in Miami. I would love to hit Miami. I would love
Yeah.
to hit a few spots in Miami. You know what I mean?
That
And
is
like
Cigar City.
there's Industrial Cigar Company in Dallas.
Yes.
That's like rated like one of the top in the country. I've been to a couple of the ones in Vegas, and they were kind of like lackluster, believe it or not. The Fuente Casa Fuente in Vegas, it really wasn't that
Really?
great. Yeah,
No
it wasn't that great.
kidding.
Yeah, it
That
wasn't that great.
shocks me.
Well, and you know what else it was? It was like, don't get me wrong, the ambiance was cool. It was cool. Then they try to hustle you into paying $125 for a cigar that you can get anywhere for like 30-40 bucks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Now,
No.
there
No, no, no.
is one Fuente cigar that I'm dying.
Mhm.
My cousin Josh, and I'm gonna have him on the podcast one day. Because he's a cigar smoker as well. I am dying to get my hands on an Opus X Purple Rain. Everybody's talking about this thing.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
So,
Now you're talking.
have you seen the movie Lost City with Andy Garcia? Dude, you've got to see this movie. It's about how Castro takes over the country and politically what happens to the country and everything when Fidel Castro took over and all that stuff. And the movie takes place during that time period. The Arturo Fuente family built a chateau and they farmed tobacco specifically for that movie. It recently just burnt down in an accident fire, but the movie wrapped production and then they started selling these cigars, the Opus X Lost City. Phenomenal. And I don't think
Oh
you
my
can get any
gosh.
more because the damn farm burnt
Probably
down.
not.
But
If you can,
I
they're
used to,
probably $1,000 a
yeah,
stick
I used to buy those damn
at
things by the
least.
box. It
Oh my
it
goodness.
was freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. And I know that they've got so many Opus X cigars now. You know what I mean? It's like Opus X, my brother's arm. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
stupid, crazy names, right? But to me, the OG is the best. The very first Opus X, that one and the Lost City. Don't get me wrong, I haven't smoked all of them. Like I've done the Fuente. Did you ever see the tasting pack? It's like six of the top Fuente
Yeah.
cigars. It
Yeah.
comes in like
Yeah.
super nice
Right.
teak, like wood
Yes.
box or whatever, cedar box, whatever. I bought a couple of those for friends. And then I bought one for a friend that I didn't know didn't smoke cigars. So I was like, okay, I'll hold on to this. I smoked
Yeah.
all them bitches. I smoked
I
all them
bet you
bitches.
did.
Like, and it was like, it's supposed to be, a commemorative case and it gives you the whole book and the story about Arturo Fuente and the family and all this stuff. I didn't give a shit about any of that. I smoked all them bitches. I will tell you something. I used to live walking distance. Are you a fan of Davidoff?
Sure. Absolutely.
I don't think any cigar smoker that says they don't like Davidoff, they're not a real cigar smoker,
Nah.
right?
No. There's something wrong with you.
So they are legit. I used to live walking distance to a Davidoff of Geneva lounge. And this place was 10, 11,000 square feet. And I mean, the finishings in this building were top notch. And they had scotches in there like the Macallan 30 and the Macallan M. And I'm just talking like huge bottles. As a matter of fact,
Wow.
I went looking for months for a bottle of Bercolotti Dark Art. I couldn't find it anywhere, and
I
it was
bet.
there. And I didn't I
Really?
didn't live I didn't live in Tampa at that time. I moved out of Tampa, and I was in Tampa for military contracting business, and I just went in and I saw the bottle on the shelf, and I was like, "Holy shit. I'm going to take a shot of that." That shit was really strong. But
Ooh, I bet.
when they first opened up, I was one of the guys that got the box. They had my name on the on the humidified locker and all that stuff,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they had a commemorative Davidoff of Tampa cigar,
Mm.
and it was a Toro. I bought 2 boxes, smoked the first one almost immediately, like almost immediately. All 10 of those bitches were gone, and then I moved and I put all my cigar stuff. Well, my wife put all my cigar stuff in like a bin, like a Tupperware, right? Threw it all in a
No,
Tupperware. John, I'm telling you, 5 years, these cigars stayed in that Tupperware. I opened the Tupperware one day and I went, oh my God, these cigars are shot. Like,
no,
oh my, you know,
no,
because it was in a beautiful box. It was white with the gold Davidoff, of course. And then they have one for New York. All the metro areas, they have a Davidoff of that metro area, and it's the skyline. It's a black skyline, like little buildings that mimic the skyline of that town. And I'm like, this box is so beautiful, and it was still sealed. I never opened it, and I'm like, oh my God, these cigars are shot.
I bet they weren't.
I opened it up. They were perfect, perfect. And now I'm talking
You know,
about.
people. I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but
Go say it. Come on.
I've been through the humidor thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like everybody else. A good cedar humidor is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want a good humidor, Tupperware is where it's at.
Oh, I've done the Tupperware thing. I've done the Tupperware thing,
It's
but
Yeah. I mean, you put some Bovita packs in there and a little bit of cedar. There's no air leakage at all. None.
well, let me give you some context. This was a moving Tupperware with a bunch
Oh,
of shit in it. Yeah,
no,
this was like a big ass, like 30-inch
no,
huge Tupperware with no humidification, nothing. That's why when I opened it up, I was like, oh my God. I did a Home Alone. I was like, oh, and then I break the box open, and this is before cigar manufacturers were putting Boveda packs in the boxes,
yeah, yeah,
so there was literally no humidification.
no.
5 years, I cracked that bitch open. They were perfect,
Jeez,
and then I kept
that's
them in the
amazing.
humidor for like 2 years. That just goes to show you the quality of Davidoff.
Mm,
Now,
mm-mm.
don't get me wrong. I love Drew Estates, the Liga number 9, the T52, Flying Pig, all of Dirty Rat,
Yes,
all of them, right?
yeah,
Love them.
yeah.
Do you think that you could have put a bundle of factory smokes, or let's call
No,
it the
no,
undercrown? Do
no,
you think you could have put them in a moving Tupperware for
no,
5 days and they would
no,
stay good?
no.
Probably
Not
not.
a chance. Not a
Probably not.
chance.
These damn things stayed 5 years with no
That's amazing.
humidification, and
That's
they were
amazing.
perfect. As a matter of fact, I gave the box to my dad. I think he's got like 2 left.
Wow.
Just smoking them for like special occasions.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
everything in the Davidoff line, they don't they don't miss. They don't ever miss. Like the Xeno Platinum, any the Escudo, the Ecuadorian,
All right.
you would love that. Strong, got a lot of punch to it. My favorite Davidoff If I were to take the whole line as a whole and pick one specific one that I would say is my goat, like that I love, my only problem is they don't have a big ring gauge in it. But my favorite one is the late hour, the Churchill,
Mm.
the late hour.
Ooh,
That
nice.
thing, the tobacco is finished in Scotch casks. You can actually taste the Scotch on them, dude.
Wow.
It's
Amazing.
phenomenal.
But I mean,
Phenomenal.
I'm the type of guy that it doesn't have to be a big ring gauge. I'm not a ring gauge fan. I'm more
Yeah.
of a, whether it's a cigarillo, it doesn't matter. The ring
See, that's
gauge
the weird
doesn't
thing.
matter to me. It's the quality of the smoke. That's
I
what
can
matters.
I can smoke a cigarillo, that's fine. And I can smoke something 60 or above. In between, nope, I'm good. Like this thing, it's a great stick, this Rubicon, but I'm having a hard time with the ring gauge.
Really.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. Even though the draw, what initially pulled me into the 60 and above was the draw. Because at that point in time, I had smoked a bunch of smaller gauge cigars and the draw sucked. And then I got into, I'll tell you exactly which one it was, the Perdomo 10th anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stick.
I smoked that and I was like, holy shit, this is like a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And then I got sucked in. And like I've only been 56 to 58 is like the minimum I'll go. And then, I'll go up to a 70. I won't go 80 because that's just nasty. To me, I think I think it's a psychological thing. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that I feel that the draw is going to be better because it's a bigger ring gauge. So that's why I do it. But I and I think this is the beauty of the brotherhood of cigar smoking because everybody has their own thing, everybody has their own opinion, everybody loves their own thing. But when you're in a lounge or you're, just chilling, whatever, outside on the stoop, whatever, everybody's there. You're all enjoying the same thing. You're enjoying a cigar, no matter what cigar it is. You're enjoying a cigar, and
It's the
you're shooting,
conversation,
you're shooting the shit.
yeah, the
You're lying
camaraderie.
about your
Yes.
fishing stories. You're doing all
Never,
that stuff.
never,
No,
never would I lie about a fishing story.
I reeled in Moby Dick. No, you didn't. But you're
Well, I
doing it
did. She was
over.
my second wife.
It's the common bond, right? That's the common bond. Like you're all there, and I don't know if you've experienced the same thing, but when you walk into a lounge, right? It's kind of like when you're at the barbershop. Everybody's the same. It doesn't matter what your title is. It doesn't matter what company you own or who.
Conversations flow. It
Exactly.
just, you're there enjoying a stick with a
No
brother,
one cares
and
about your status. No one cares about what you have in the bank. We're all sharing the same thing. We're all sharing a wonderfully produced product of tobacco. That's
handmade,
it. Handmade.
handmade
That's
produced.
it. That's
Yes.
it.
I mean, it's why they call it the Brotherhood of the Leaf.
I agree.
That's what it's all about.
I
That's what
agree.
it's all about.
And
This stick, this is a good stick, you know, but what makes it enjoyable, not just because it's a good stick, but what makes it even more enjoyable is the company.
yeah,
I mean,
I
we've
agree.
been here almost 2 hours, and this stick is not done. And you've probably noticed I visit it very often,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, me too.
and I still 2 hours into a stick,
It
and
tells you something.
the conversation just flows. It allows the conversation just to go where the conversation goes. That's what I love about it.
Definitely tells a story, right?
Yes.
It tells the story of people that are there for a reason, right? You're there to enjoy, kick back,
Uh,
relax, blow off
yes.
some steam, talk to other like-minded people that enjoy the same thing you do. And
Yes.
this is why I love the cigar world. This is why. It's exactly why. It's
Absolutely.
it's like The golfers go out because they all have that common bond. They like golfing. They like to torment themselves. I'm not a fan. I do it. I do it when I have to. But the guys that and girls that love this product, we all get together and we're all the same. It doesn't matter what your title says. It doesn't matter how many letters you have on the end of your name. It doesn't matter what you have in your bank account. When we're all sitting there and we're all talking about cigars and we're all talking about stories, and when you're at a lounge and you're like, check this lounge out. Like if you're ever in Tampa, if you're
Yeah.
ever in LA, if you're ever over here, Philly, go to this place. And it's that common bond. And I still talk to dudes and meet up with guys that I've met from all over the place. Right? Like, have you ever seen the YouTube channel Cigars Daily?
I believe I have. Yeah.
Tim, he's kind of like balding. He's very, very knowledgeable about cigars. He's got a cigar shop.
Hmm.
He's in Phoenix, Arizona. I met the guy. Very, very nice guy. I actually have a picture of me and my brother and Tim in his podcast studio in his cigar shop. And it's just like, he didn't care. He's got millions of viewers. And I walked into his shop and I said, hey, man, I'm a big fan. I watch all your stuff. And he was just like, that's awesome. Took me through the humidor, showed me some new stuff that he just got in, took me into the podcast studio. I was like, hey, this is where it's done. We're all the same. We're on the even keel. It doesn't
Right.
matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is, where you grew up. We're all the same. And it's why I love this thing. It's why I love it. It's not just what it gives me, but it's what it gives all of us. We all get together and we're enjoying the same thing.
Yes.
I love it.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Love it.
John, I loved having you on, bro. This is like, I can do this all
Man,
night.
it's been my pleasure.
We are definitely
And
going to have.
thank you so much for the multiple sticks that you have
Absolutely.
blessed me with lately.
Absolutely. And that's why I love doing
All
it, man,
have
because I
been
love
top
sharing.
notch.
I
All
love
have been
sharing.
top notch.
And that's kind of my thing. I want to, if I find something that's good, I want to share it with people. All right. That's the thing, is you share what you find good for you and hope that someone realizes the same thing. Like, oh yeah, damn, that's a good stick. And that's when it's just like the eureka moment. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
someone else I'm not crazy. Like it's
No,
good.
no, you're not crazy at all. I will say this: you've got great taste in cigars.
Well,
Great taste.
Thank you. It's been many years in the making, but we are definitely going to do this again.
Sounds good.
I loved every minute of this. I think it's probably one of the best podcasts that we've done so far.
Awesome.
And everyone watching, everyone listening, there's much more of this to come. We thank you so much for Sticks and Stones. Keep it rolling.
Indeed. Thanks much.
And if you want to get a hold of Tejas imagery, how do we do that?
Well, the easiest way is through our website, www.tejasimagery.com.
Perfect.
You can call us if you're local to the Houston area, 832-792-5040. The easiest way, though, is through our website. My email is john@tejasimagery.com. It's Tejas, the old school spelling of Texas, Tejas. Yeah.
Perfect.
Simple.
So if you guys need any help from these guys, they're awesome. So for that, we're off for tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
You too.
you.